Hey guys, it's your own boy, the one-eye Great Dane, back with another video on Squad Busters. So I figure as of right now, I'll just be doing seasonal reviews and what's changed to give you guys a good idea what's going on in Squad Busters. But again, as of right now, it just doesn't seem to make sense to do chest openings since they're so frequent, and you know, you have to it's at least twice a day reasonably, because the chest refreshes every 3 hours. So doing that much video, I think, is just a little ridiculous. I know some people think that me doing even a daily is a bit much, but other people have asked me for more, so it's kind of an awkward spot. The best I think I could do with this game is live streams, but just not right now. Maybe in the future. Again, let me know what you guys think about that. But the first interesting change I'm seeing so far is Terra's Mystery Challenge. So if you guys watched my previous, I think it was even 2.5 hours just playing through the game, first impressions, usually this is 6 chest tickets. So it presents as chest tickets because you need to open chests after battles to get each of these cards. You pick 4 randomly, and then you get the gold card after that. So it doesn't really matter which you pick, as long as you end up getting them all, then you get the gold card, additional reward, whatever that might be. But again, it's just interesting because usually it was 6, but I also think they reduced the time to 12 hours. And I think it was a day before. So that's something to keep in mind. The other significant thing is the pre-registration awards are finally in the game now. I'll also show you guys that I did end up getting the Android pin here, which is the goblin being turned into an android. There is an iOS pin. I technically could have got it despite not having an iOS device if I found a way to install the game on an iOS application client on my laptop, but frankly I did not think it was worth the effort. But again, if you guys are on iOS and you're pre-registered, then you should be getting that additional pin as well. But without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and claim these rewards. So quite a bit of rewards. Barbarian Kings, Nitas, and El Primo. I plan on saving up my hammers until I can get something pretty significant, so I have no decos. My man looks pretty sad. It's nice to have something to shove into the lobby here. See, I thought it was weird when I clicked on the bushes and it showed up for the thing. I didn't know that they were part of it, but let me try. So now that's weird. I want to see something here. So I have to click on the builder guy, go to inventory. Is the bush just gone now? Oh, that comes back. Okay, well the flowers actually look nice, and it doesn't seem like you can store them, which I think is a little strange. I'm hoping they'll change that in the future. But as of right now, so yeah, let me get a view on that actually. So I store the statue here. So we have 8. Looks like there's 18 spots to store things. So obviously I'm sure they'll add more as time goes on, but oh, you can actually move it a lot easier than I thought you could. So you don't have to store it and then move it, you can just tap on it and change it. It does kind of force you to move it. That's a little annoying. There's no cancel. Oh, there's a cancel button, never mind. I didn't look at the bottom of the screen. But okay, we just got an Evolution Primo too. I think some of these 3-star evolutions have been quite significant actually. Again, they're small changes, but definitely beneficial. So the other significant thing I want to show is the gem pass. I don't think there's anything too significant that's changed in the shop. Again, you get a lot of special offers, quote unquote. Unless you're really into the game, like if you purchase these, it's gonna add up fast. So I wouldn't recommend it really. I'd really only recommend spending money on the gem pass if you play the game quite frequently, and even then, reasonably, unless you're buying chess tickets. Again, there's only two things I think you should be spending your coins on: chess tickets and streak savers. But again, you can't buy streak savers ahead of time. You have to buy it right after you lose a match. And again, losing, quote unquote, it doesn't really matter too much to win. Besides, the only reason you want to keep your streak isn't just because it's a high number, it's because it gives you additional rolls on your chest to get higher rarities, or bigger chests to get more characters, which reasonably you'd want to do to give yourself, again, a slight advantage when playing the games to do better. But they just recently changed that, and I'll get into that in a second to see what you guys think. But my tip for getting the gem pass, again, I usually call it the squad pass. I don't really think it matters that much. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. We have 2 new megas. I really like the Shelly one. I haven't had a chance to play the Kitsune Witch one. Usually there is a modifier. Let me see if I can find it. Trying to remember. I guess it's in the book. Yeah, okay. So there's a modifier called Mega Start that lets you start with a Mega for free. It's not like you're using the ones that you've collected. That would kind of suck and be unfair to people who aren't getting them. So I'm wondering if this modifier will now have 4 choices of megas to start, being the Dragon Chicken, LT Gray, Kitsune Witch, and the new Shelly. Again, I don't even remember what that one's called. It looks cool though. So I don't know if it's gonna be the 2 every season when this modifier's up, or potentially all of them, though I do believe you should be able to use all the ones you have regardless of the season, so that's something to keep in mind. But my tip to you guys is, for the evolution of any rarity, choose the highest rarity. It does not make sense to me. Again, maybe someone can enlighten me in the comments. It does not make sense to me that you would choose anything lower than an epic, because that is the highest rarity right now. And what this actually does, again, it calls itself an evolution. What it actually is doing is giving you more characters, and it's harder to get higher rarity characters. So why would you choose to get more of a lesser rarity character? It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like you'd be duping yourself to choose anything less than an epic when you're buying the pass. And again, you get this right away, so for my sake, at least choose one of your epics if you have one, or even hold on to it until you get an epic. Also, if you guys didn't know, when you connect your Supercell ID, it's up here, it will give you a free epic Archer Queen, which guarantees you'll have an epic to use. Another thing, I actually just saw a video on this recently and I thought it was really interesting. Apparently, oh man, I really gotta scroll back for this. You can get the epic character Witch from the, again, I just call it Trophy Road. I really have no idea what you would call this path, but it's essentially like Trophy Road in Brawl Stars. Once you get enough portal energy to get the epic Witch, you'll have that character as well, which you can, again, use the evolution thing in the gem pass. But there's this interesting thing. Apparently, the game likes to try to keep all your characters even. You might think it's random what you get out of the chests, but it actually isn't as random as you think. Because again, you'll notice all of my characters, besides the ones I just recently got 3 stars, are all 2 stars. I don't have any 1 stars. Don't you find that interesting? The game tends to ensure that all your characters that you have lesser rarities, you have a higher chance of getting those. Again, I don't know what exactly those chances are, but there's videos on it as well. So the trick to this is, apparently, some people have been having a great difficulty getting the Barbarian King. And I might have done this inadvertently because I did not know this was a thing, but I waited to connect my Supercell ID, and you might want to as well if you're just starting the game. So apparently, I think it's the 12th win that you get your first epic chest. So don't connect your Supercell ID and don't claim the witch on this portal pass. Maybe that's a better thing to call it. But anyway, don't claim either of them, because apparently you can only get these two characters, as far as I'm aware right now, from doing these two things. So if you get the epic chest and you don't have either of these characters, it will guaranteed give you the Barbarian King. So you'll get 3 guaranteed epics. Again, maybe I just got really lucky. Maybe I did it inadvertently. I don't know. But I do fortunately have the Barbarian King. Apparently, some people are all the way to Beach World and they still don't have the Barbarian King somehow. Again, I'd actually argue that having less troops can be a good thing as well if you want to use specific troops. But while playing the game, I found that usually in the modifiers you want to have a look when you're right before you're about to play, because you don't actually get to choose the characters you play in the matches. I've noticed it just randomly selects 15 of all your characters, and it even chooses the ones that you don't have, which again is unfortunate because you can't use them in battle if you don't have them. But I always look at my common selection at the top to determine whether I'm going to be playing passive or aggressive in that match. So I have a Mavis and I don't have any chickens, so I'd probably want to end up choosing more powerful characters to scare off the other teams, because I'm not going to be able to run away as easily. And I do have the Barbarian King again. I found Mortis is a pretty fun character. Again, I was pretty fortunate to unlock him as well. He's kind of a quirky one though, because he revives certain NPCs on the map when you kill them, but he only does it up to a certain threshold. Like if you defeat a boss monster, he won't revive that one. I guess that would be too overpowered. Anyway, again, you just want to make sure you're choosing an epic for your evolution. Again, maybe it's a tip/trick I just told you guys can help you get a third epic character. Again, there's a video on it on YouTube somewhere. I forget what it's called, but if you look it up, there's another guy that explains it. That's where I'm getting it from. But again, I was fortunate to get it anyway. So the last thing I want to show you guys is, again, I'm pretty happy that the music and sounds you can just switch. So I actually can change that in this game, so you guys can hopefully hear what I've been saying this whole time. I just turned them both down to half. So I was talking about you should only be spending your coins on chess tickets, or you should be spending them on the streak savers. So I just recently contacted the support to ask about the recent price change to streak savers. So you guys may or may not have known that. It was just yesterday that they implemented this, and again, it was completely out of nowhere, and usually you'd think this was a good thing, but anyway. The streak savers used to cost 9,000 coins. They reduced it to 5,000, so now it's nearly half the price that it was. So I contacted the support to ask if there's any way you could get the difference back. Again, I know Supercell needs this money, that's why they have 50 offers a day to try to get you to spend more money on the game so they can pay the people working on the game and all that. So I was wondering if I could get the difference back in coins, because if you spent money to get coins to save your streak, then they'd still keep the money, but I was hoping they'd at least be able to give you the difference back in coins, because again, it seems unfair for a new player on global release to only have to pay what is essentially almost half to keep their streaks than someone who was before that. So again, you can read the response here, but apparently the answer is just no. But I do know there was, I don't play Clash Royale anymore, but again, they've been having their issues. There was one that upset the player base quite a bit, and they did end up actually making a change, even though they said they wouldn't. So let me know if you guys wanted to start a petition or something of that nature to try to get the developers' attention, and maybe they actually will refund the coins on the previous streak savers, because again, I'm sure it's something they could do, and for me at least, it'd probably be somewhere around like possibly 40,000 coins. Again, that's one last thing I'll probably tell you guys, is make sure to have at least 5,000 coins. Before I would have said 9,000, but again, they just changed it. So why is that? So again, you can see by my 225 streak here, it's not a true streak, obviously, and you'll know this even from the best players, is always either be able to have those coins or be able to keep the streak up so you can get those extra chest rolls, is because no matter how good you are at the game, you're eventually going to make 6th place or lower, because sometimes the lobbies are just really intense, and I find the hardest games are the ones where everyone is trying to play passively, because then you just have 10 players still running around the map when there's like a minute left on the clock, and it gets very chaotic very fast. So if you're not already playing like a trader comp with Greg or something, you're not going to be getting those extra gems. You're probably going to end up getting 6th place if no one's busting any of the other squads, or you haven't been fortunate enough to make it to the gem mine before everyone else. So again, you just want to have that backup so you can save your streak. It's not the biggest issue in the world if you lose your streak, but it certainly does help your progress if you can keep it. And again, let me know if any of you have been playing before the global release, which is presumably today, and you want to start some kind of movement or petition for the Squad Busters team to try to implement getting those 4,000 coins back for every time you spent 9,000 to save a streak. Again, maybe it's just a me issue, but I did think it was relevant enough to bring up. So other than that, let me know if you guys plan on playing now that the global release should be out. Again, I've had early access, so I don't know if it's out exactly right when I'm recording this, but obviously I've had the game anyway. So yeah, let me know if you'll be playing. Let me know if you have been playing. Let me know if you want to do anything about the change to the coins. And let me know if you appreciate any of the tips I have. Again, I think it sounds silly, but just looking at your comp can give you an idea of how you're going to play. And I think the most interesting thing is that some characters are really good on certain modifiers, and it really sucks if you don't have them. But there's nothing you can actually do about that, so you always just have to play to the best of your ability. But yeah, again, let me know if you want to see any other type of Squad Busters content. Right now, I just plan on doing the seasonal reviews, which I don't even think I showed the whole pass here. Again, it's hard for me to say if this pass is exactly the same as the last one. I don't think it is, because I remember the 2 dragon chickens are at the very last tier here, so I'm wondering if they just changed the numbers around. I'm sure there's someone that did a review, but again, if you plan on playing the game quite a bit, I'd recommend getting it. It's $10. There is no alternate choice like in Brawl Stars to get more rewards or less rewards. You just have to spend $10 to get the bottom super pass here, so you get everything on the bottom side of the gem pass. But again, I'm sure there's a video highlighting the difference between this current season, which again, despite it being global release, is technically the 2nd gem pass. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, and if you want to see any other content besides just the seasonal gem pass reviews that I plan on doing. Again, I might review my previous video and look at this one, or watch someone else's video to give you an idea of whether or not the gem pass is more worth it or less worth it than last season. I have a feeling they probably just switched it around. It's probably still roughly the same amount of rewards you'd get from the last one. But yeah, other than that, let's see how far I can take this, guys.